Hey. Get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Roll one up, let's catch this flight. Pour another cup, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Hey, it's your boy Tight. Can't say the Tight without the 1205. Know I'm talking about. But you're tuning in with Ray Ray's podcast. Kicking my boy Ray.
Hey, yo, it's your boy Ray Ray's podcast. Back at it again, live from the 10th floor of Hello Studios in the beautiful downtown Dallas. Thank you for rocking with me one more time, tuning in again. We so greatly appreciate that. Again, we got to shout out our sponsors real quick. Shout out Lyrically Correct. That is the lyric card trivia game. If you think you know your lyrics, think you know your music, go to lyricallycorrect.com, put in promo code RAY23, save 20% off all the different copies they have of Lyrically Correct. Also, a big shout out to Lit Vacations. That's LITT Vacations. If you're trying to plan that next bachelor or bachelorette party, destination wedding, family reunion, friends trip, business corporate trip, hit up my guy Austin at Lit Vacations. Tell him Ray from Ray Ray's podcast sent you. Also, each year, I host a real big vacation. So this year we're going to the Dominican Republic. If that's something you're interested in going and doing, hit up Austin. He's got all the details for that. Man, you get great rates and it's a great time. You meet a bunch of amazing people and network and have the time of your life. So hit up Lit Vacations for that, okay? Cool. We got a great show planned for you today. Such an amazing guest is in the building. But, if you're an OG of the show, we got to reset that day, reset that week, reset that month, whatever we got to do to get your mind right and renewed. If it's your first time listening, you be in for a treat, I think, personally. So, just in case someone told you today, I just want you to know that you are beautiful, you are loved, you're needed, you're alive for a reason. Hey, you're stronger than you think. Whatever it is you're going through right now, you're going to get through this. See, here on my show, Ray Ray's podcast, I'm glad that you're alive and don't give up. So when you say those positive words, keep those positive words in your mind. When tough situations arise, when you have those playing back in your mind, remember you are who you say you are. You can do what you say you can do. Bet. All right, let's get into it today, all right? Amazing guest we have in the building. This lady does so many different things. I don't even think I can give her a proper introduction because so many amazing things that she does. But what I want y'all to do is to give a warm Ray Ray's podcast welcome to Dr. Letitia Scott Jackson in the hot seat today. How are we doing?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I know you do a lot of things, got a lot of things on your plate, but you decided to come rock with us today, and we greatly appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you. All right. So let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're a woman of many facets, many things you got going on. So tell the people about Dr. Letitia Scott Jackson.
Listen, Ray, I'm just grateful to be on top of the dirt. I like your intro because it's always good to encourage people. I'm all about helping people become better with themselves and always encouraging people, not because I need to do it, but because it's an assignment. And I've been through so many things in life. I thank God, again, for being on top of the dirt and the dirt not being on top of me. A lot of people don't like to give God his reverence, but I have to because I've been through so much. And had it not been for him, I wouldn't be sitting here with you. Like, you would have to really know my story to understand why I am like I am. I am a published author. I'm a life coach, I say real life coach, because in this day and time we get so much false teaching and people being deceived by what they see. Social media has taken people to a level where they believe everything they see, and baby, half of what you see is really not what it is. Trust me, I know. I deal with people from our platforms. I'm also a musician for the church. I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, I'm a friend. I do so much for so many people. I'm also the visionary of keeping families connected, where we provide free luxury prison trips throughout the state of Texas. Listen, I'm not government funded, I'm God graced. January the 15th made 9 years that I've been taking people to the prisons to see their incarcerated loved ones. I started with just taking children to see their parents, because we don't know the impact. I know you got an opportunity to meet the Boss Brothers, and I started with them young, not only just mine, but I started 13 businesses for 13 people, ages 5 all the way through 28, with my allowance. So I didn't get any government grants, any corporate sponsorships. God led me to do it, and I did it. And to be and everybody that's of age have LLCs, they have logos, they have business cards. I mean, I'm just a person that believe in showing people that it doesn't always have to be like it is.
Yeah, that's and just that small amount, that was such a lot you said there. And we're gonna break all that down. I gotta understand, I know what it's like being a church musician. I was the drummer at church, so.
Oh yeah. And my daddy was the preacher. So you already know, right?
Say no more, trust me. All my extra time was at church.
Yeah.
We had choir rehearsal, Bible study,
Prayer meeting.
I feel like I was at church
The
like
prayer breakfast on Saturday morning.
the revival.
Listen, my dad, I tell people all the time when I tell and it's in my book, but I tell people when I was growing up, my dad was an AME preacher. I don't know if you remember when they had the CME, the AME, and AME preachers, they either had to live next door to the church or by the church, or behind the church. And me, I was like, when I get grown, I'm never going to church.
Boy.
But when it's in you, that's why the principle says train up a child in the way that he should go. We complaining so much in this day and time about our younger generation, but if we would spend more time training them in the way that they should go, like we were, you know, you're going to depart, things going to happen, you're not perfect, circumstances are going to come, but you may stray, but you're going to always have that in the back of your memory that I know my way back, or I know where my foundation is. I know what I need to do to get to that better place. So I'm just grateful for my upbringing. I mean, it wasn't always good, but hey, that's a whole nother story. I don't want to give it all to you at one time, but listen, real is rare.
It is. It is. I always remember, like, when you're taught on foundation, you know what's right and what's wrong. Like, there's certain situations you're not going to allow yourself to be put in because you were like, you know what, I was taught not to do that. You know, I've taught, like, you know, that ain't the best decision.
Right.
Because, you know, wisdom is everything.
Boy, you better tell me.
Wisdom is everything. That's like, especially when it comes to like the money and things of that nature.
Exactly.
When they say a foolish man will part with his money, I don't know the exact quote. Don't quote me here. I probably got it wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say.
A fool and his money will soon depart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you're not a wise servant, that's why I love that God has me on this assignment. As a matter of fact, on next Wednesday, I'll be the guest speaker at Mountain View Women's Prison.
Okay.
For their Strive program graduation, where these women have gone through different certifications and they're getting ready to be released from prison. As a matter of fact, over 40% of them will be released after I speak.
That's awesome.
So I'm excited about going because let me tell you something, wisdom is powerful, but your knowledge is even more powerful, and can't nobody take what you know.
And that's one of the things too, is like, you know what I was taught was you got to love your neighbor like you love yourself. And, you know, one of the reasons why I say those words is we don't know what someone is dealing with.
No.
Everybody is daily dealing with the battle we do not know.
Yes.
It is our assignment and our duty to be kind to everyone. Even if you having a bad day, you don't feel like being kind.
And guess what? It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
You don't have to pay to be nice.
Yeah, it don't cost you to do anything.
You don't have to pay to be considerate. You don't have to pay to be kind. Like I tell people all the time, it costs nothing to share because sharing is caring. And even if I open the door for someone, I may see somebody and it's an elderly person. Oh, you know what? You look really nice today. I like your hair. You need some help?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about, because we've gotten away from this. So many people have gotten away from that. And again, because of the lack of us not caring enough, people not caring enough, that's why the generation is like it is.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's out there watching that. You know, if you take something, if anything from this, just be kind to people, you know? It doesn't take anything to be kind, all right? So let's dive into all this stuff we talked about, all right? Because you hit so much right off the bat. So let's talk about how were you able to, well, first off, before we forget how you were able to, but like, what put it on your heart to be able to help people to go see their families in the prisons?
It derived from a personal situation that I had. Back in 2008, June 1st, my only son was killed in a car wreck. He was 17. 3 days in a row prior to that, God showed me that he was going to die. And I asked God not to let him die. It's my only son, God. We just opened the clothing store in Baton Rouge. And I was sitting in church when he died on the piano. So that was like something I thought I would never, ever get past. Fast forward. Every time I would try to, it seems like I was getting over it a little bit. Yeah. I'm from Louisiana, so everybody know me.
Yeah.
I used to be a drug dealer and the piano player for the church and the drummer for the church. I play it all. And so I would go out and people would send me back to that place. Oh, I feel sorry for you. How you holding up? I know you miss your son. Yeah, you know, he was a mama's boy. And I couldn't take it no more. I was like, you know what, God, I'm done with you. I'm done with church. I'm done with everything. I moved to Texas in September of 2008. Let me tell you how crazy I was. I didn't even know anything about Dallas. I Googled, and it said first month rent free, the deposit free. Mm-hmm. The house was the apartment was in Oak Cliff, and I can't even remember the name of Jesus Christ.
Maybe you don't need to remember it.
It's a whole bunch of them, but they look nice on the outside. Then you get to the neighborhood, you like, what the heck? On the internet, it was all glitz and glamour. And I get here and I'm like, okay.
They catfish you on the apartment.
Exactly that part. But it was the neighborhood because you're talking about someone who was delivered from a life prison sentence.
Yeah.
For selling drugs. Never used a drug, never took a drink, never club hop. That wasn't my thing. If it didn't make money, it didn't make sense. So that's why I'm so serious now about helping people, because here's the deal. It's no rhyme or reason for nobody in this world to say I don't have it. I can't get it.
Yeah.
I'm struggling. I'm not saying you're going to be rich or wealthy. Everybody can't be that. The Bible says everybody won't be that because God does not bless what he can't trust.
Oh, that's facts. Yeah, it's facts, yeah.
I'm so serious.
Yeah.
So I started, you talking about, I came here with an air mattress and a TV and my 4 daughters. September 2008. I'm depressed. I meet my king, who's now my husband, who's 8 years younger than I am. He's from Dallas. Meet him January 2009. I was depressed, going through depression. He never had any kids, never been married. To this day, he has no kids. And so he took on a ready-made family. This is a true story. I got a movie here. We started dating in February of 2009. Sometimes we could be riding in the car, and you're talking about somebody who's never been married, never had any kids. And I would just bust out and start crying, screaming and hollering. I miss my son so much. I'm like, God, why you do me like this? Now, mind you, my mom had already died while I was in federal prison the first time at the age of 42 for something I did do, because I was a drug dealer. Mm-hmm. My dad took my drug charge thinking because he was a preacher, he was going to get probation. They gave him 15 years. I had 3 kilos of cocaine in his house, in his car. I'm trying to be slick. Let me tell y'all something. For everybody that's listening, because we get so deceived by what we see, the devil is just like a drug. He's just like the cocaine. I say he'll trick the sleeves off you, because I thought that as long as I never sold drugs on Sundays, and I thought that if I hid the cocaine in my dad's car, him being the preacher, that I would never go to jail. You talking about crazy?
Yeah.
A silly sinner. Super stupid. But it's real. Real is rare. Yeah. That's my motto. That's my life story. Real is rare. And so, come to Texas to meet my husband. He bear it with me. Now, that's in 2009 in February. May 2009, we move in together. November the 16th, 2010, we get married. October the 6th, 2011, I put him on all my businesses. Someone committed fraud against my company. We go to prison on the same day in 2 different states and don't see each other no more to 2015. Come home broke, homeless, busted, disgusted, trying to figure it out. Sent my kids back to Louisiana to stay with people I thought I could trust from the church. That didn't manifest right because they counted me out. Not knowing God had already said, I'm just using this setback for a setup for a major comeback. By the end of 2018, we were God Made Millionaires. And to this day, I never worked. So that's why I take people to the prisons for free. That's why I provide free breakfast, free lunch, free back to school, 250 plus kids every year. Just blessed over 400 kids for Christmas. Easter, I think we just ordered 200 Easter baskets. Valentine's Day, I'm like, you are loved. I don't buy for the parents. I go buy 100 boxes of Valentine candy and go to the inner city and just pass them out. My husband say, every time God puts something on your heart, it consists of spending my money. But the more you give, the more you receive. Yeah. And the more you give, the better you feel. My living is in my giving. And this has been 9 years. And every year God just takes me higher and higher and higher and higher. And I am a living testimony that if he can trust you, he will bless you. Everything I ever wanted when I was a drug dealer, I never got it. Because I would either end up going to jail, somebody that was working for me would go to jail, things would just happen. But everything I wanted, the Rolex watches, the Bentleys, the Maseratis, I got them now and every one of them is paid for. Because God can trust me, and I don't care about. I take them to the prisons. I ride folks in them. I don't care. It's not the things, but God can trust me. I desired it, but I respect it. So you gotta understand that whatever you respect, you'll attract it. Yeah. Whatever you disrespect, you repel. And if God can trust you, he can bless you.
Man, she just gave a word right there. I don't know if y'all want to send in your tithes and offerings real quick. I'll collect them on her behalf. Just let me know. All right. You mentioned at the beginning that you're a published author. Let's talk about that.
Yes, I have 4 books that I've published. Because of everything that I write it derives from personal experiences. So the first book I wrote, I was so hurt by the church until I had to understand, even though I grew up in church, a lot of things I didn't understand. I thought the church was the building that we went to. Mm-hmm. The church is not the building. We're the church. The church is in us. What goes in us is what comes out of us. So I was looking for that in people that I thought I could really trust. So when I got wrongfully convicted, I sent my children to live with the people from the church back to Louisiana. Mind you, their grandparents died after Katrina. My mom and dad both passed away. Their dad was a person, and God rest his soul. If he didn't have a rich woman or a woman that had some money, then my kids were stuck out. So he was in Vegas and he didn't take the kids, so I sent them there. And everybody that I thought I could trust hurt me. So the name of the first book is Where the Real Church Folk At.
That's a title.
Where the real church, where they are. Where are they when you really need them? I wrote so many prominent churches here that I heard of. Remind you, I just had moved here. But these churches I heard of. And I started the letter with, I don't need your money. I need someone to pick my daughters up and take them to church. Not one church wrote me back. Not one. So then they were exposed to premarital sex, marijuana. I'm not ashamed to tell you because now you see them. I started businesses for them. But it is what it is. Sometimes you got to go through something to get to something. And so I'm okay with that I had to go through it to get to it. I'm not, people say, you bitter? No. Mad? No. I'm blessed. And my husband don't like for me to say it, but I have to say it. I'm gangster, gracefully grateful. That part. You better hear me. I'm half hood and half holy. So listen, I'm still a saved sinner, but I don't play.
They said, try Jesus.
Not
don't
me.
Try me.
That part, I'm gonna you gonna make me a shirt with that. Listen. And so you got Where the Real Church Folk At. You got Grace and Favor from Prison to Paid. That's part of one of my life. And it stops when my son gets killed. So part 2 starts, and it'll start where I meet my husband and how we had to go through all the things that we went through to get to where we are now. The third book is Queen, Come On With Your Money Making Self. It's got 100 ways. I just said there's no excuse for people to not be maximizing their purpose because you're not going to believe this. All the wealth is in the graveyards. We think Elon Musk is wealthy. You think Bill Gates is wealthy, Donald Trump. These people, they have money, but the mass majority of the wealth is buried because so many people died not having maximized their potential. They didn't tap into their purpose, their God-given purpose. You tap into your purpose, you then become productive. So what happens when things become productive? Things start happening. Stuff start coming together. You can see it come to fruition. And then you can become prosperous. So any dollar a day legally is better than no dollar a day to me.
Facts. Absolutely.
So Queen Come On With Your Money Making Self has 100 ways that people can make money that they just don't even think about. Talks about the principle of being an eagle versus a pigeon and a bird.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's the last book that I just wrote. God gave it to me. I wrote it in 3 days.
Okay.
Prison, Please Prepare Me. When you listen to it, you think you're asking to be prepared for prison. No, it's Prison, Please Prepare Me, because people are in prison emotionally. People are in prison financially. People are in prison physically. You can be in prison in so many ways, mentally. So it's not just talking about prison per se behind bars, but it has so many things that people getting ready to leave prison can prepare for so that they could be better in their life.
So if someone wanted to reach out to you about wanting to prepare to get out of prison, or if they have a loved one that is in prison and they want to see, how can they reach out to you to get assistance with that?
Everywhere. You can Google keepingfamiliesconnected.com. We have a website where you can subscribe. We also have a website where you can ask for questions. We have a resource Bible on there where everything you need is there. My website is LetitiaScottJackson.com. So everything on there, my radio podcast is there, my phone numbers, my email addresses, anything that you need to know about Dr. Letitia Scott Jackson is on Google. It's on the website, Keeping Families Connected website. And we just always about helping people, getting them prepared so that they can set themselves up for success.
Man, that's awesome. That's an awesome thing you're doing. It's a really amazing thing. I commend you. And
it's
just
a lot of work.
It seems like it's a lot of work, but yeah, you're making what you're doing is touching so many people. You may not even know really how much it's touching someone, and that's a great thing when you're able to touch people.
But you just say that. Yesterday I was checking my messages on my Instagram, and so I used to let people work it for me because I'm doing so much.
Yeah.
But then people started sending me their personal requests or telling me, oh, my husband assaulted my child or whatever the case may be, and can you pray for me? So I started doing it myself because it's personal. So this lady sent me a message yesterday, and she said, my husband was able to hear you speak when I spoke at the Cow Unit down by Austin, Texas. And you changed his life. This long paragraph. I don't even know who her husband is.
Yeah.
But for you to say that, I used to get discouraged sometimes because when you start talking about prison and people don't even care if it's the kid, people don't really support. And that's just what's real. You're talking about 9 years, and I've never, ever missed a beat. I do this with my allowance. My husband gives me 10% of what he makes. And every week, my money goes to help other people. So if you're living and you're not doing something for somebody, you're not even living. You're just getting by.
Man, there's some words right there. Those are some words people probably need to hear out there, right? So,
because people think sometimes you just got to give money.
No.
It's not about money. It's about your time, your talent, your treasure. You know, I don't like driving them far prison trips all the time, but I have people that just call me up, Miss Letitia, I'll drive for you today. I didn't realize the Texas prisons were so far. You get to Abilene, then you got to go 15 miles up in the woods to get to the prison. Like, Jesus Christ. You know, Lord have mercy, I didn't do my research because I did it stepping out because it was a passion.
Yeah.
Like, I was in the federal prison back in 2012, 2013, and these women, all they do is cry because nobody would bring their kids to see them. Mm-hmm. So I asked God, you let me win the appeal. I won the appeal. So what was my purpose for wasting that time? I don't like wasting time.
Yeah.
And God told me, just explain today, you didn't waste your time. You are to keep families connected. So now this is your assignment. And even when I want to throw in the towel, even when people don't, on a $2 Tuesday and I'll raise, but people don't give but $50. But guess what? I'm still doing prison trips 3 times a month. I'm still doing mentorship every 2 months. I'm still sowing into people. I'm still speaking into people's lives. And God is just not letting me miss a beat. So I'm definitely grateful.
Man, that is awesome. That's such a great story you told. And I hope someone is touched by that. So we have this segment on the show. If this is your first time watching or you're OG, like I say, we got this segment. It's called Slow Down. I just want to get to know you. Slow down. We just want to get to know you. This is where we kind of ask you some questions, just some fun questions. Kind of see, where we go. Kind of learn a little bit more about you. Again, I have to remind you that the Slow Down segment is brought to you by Lyrically Correct. That is a lyric trivia card game. I don't know. Maybe you may catch Dr. Letitia Scott playing a game. You may see that possibly.
Yeah.
But if you think you know your lyrics, if there's something you want to play with your family or friends, go to lyricallycorrect.com, put in promo code RayRay23, and get 20% off all the copies we got there, all right? So before we start off this Slow Down segment, again, shout out all those places people can connect with you, find information about you, or if they just want to purchase any of the books, shout all that information out for me.
Listen, all of my books are on Amazon, Google, Barnes & Nobles. All you have to do is just Google Dr. Letitia Scott Jackson and everything that you like to know, website, phone numbers, email addresses, all of that is on Google. Our social media platforms, Keeping Families Connected, Letitia Scott and Letitia Scott Jackson. So you can find all of those, all of the information that you need to contact me there. I also have a radio podcast that comes on every Wednesday, and it's called the Letitia Talks Podcast. And it's a radio podcast, so it's not visual, but we bring on different people. And my mission and my motto for that is real life stories from real life people that's living this life in real life. So we had DJ Finesse on there who was diagnosed with cancer. They thought he was going to die. He used to be Puff Daddy's DJ, and he was on my show. And at the time he was on the show, you got to go listen to it because it was so powerful. He was talking about cancer, but a lady called in who the doctor had just given her son 2 weeks to live. And I never bring people on my show in the middle of the show, but she was calling in for prayer. She texted me for prayer, and he was able to speak into her life. So this show is really powerful. It's really geared toward encouraging people, not just in prison, but all over the world. So it's on all platforms, over 400,000 listeners on the network. I'm also on sometimes monthly with Judge Joe Brown. So it's a great show. So if you're not doing anything today at 3 o'clock, it's every Wednesday. You can call in and listen, and we can bring you on if you want to talk. But I had to drop that jewel that you can find me there as well. My books are everywhere. My name is everywhere. Listen, if you need some help, and even if it's not financially, you just need somebody needs encouraging sometimes.
Yeah.
And need to know it doesn't always have to be like this. I never thought in a million years that I would be where I am today.
You never know.
Never know. Going from being homeless, sleeping in the car, going in prison, everybody turned their backs on me, and now I walk in the room and I set the atmosphere. And I don't just talk it, I live it. And that's one thing, you better start following people that's living it for real and stop being deceived.
Okay, all right. All right, so let's get some questions here for you, all right? So you know how they have those planes that are in the sky that have like the banners? Mm-hmm. Okay. What if you could display one sentence in the sky, what would it say?
Real is rare.
Okay, I like that. Okay. What 3 things do you think about the most every day?
Boy, being a blessing to other people, making sure my husband is good, and setting up generational wealth for my family.
Boy, she hit the nail on the head with that one. All right. Would you say that there's a song out there that best describes you?
It's so many, but let me see. I'm just going to say E40 winning.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. So if you had a warning label on you, what would it say?
Don't play.
Don't play with me. All right. If you were the ruler of your own country, what would be the first law that you would introduce?
Pray. They've taken it away in so many different places. So to pray, because let me tell you something, goes without God gets no gratification.
Okay. So say, for instance, I'm Ray. I'm a movie director, okay? Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite questions. I love asking this question. I want to make the Dr. Letitia Scott Jackson movie, okay? Don't play with me. That's the title of it, all right? Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Boy. Rock from Raising Canaan.
Oh, Rick Hill. I love that show. We be joking about that. Are you watching the new season right now?
I'm watching it.
Fuck Rock. What you say about my mother?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Ronnie is playing that role right now,
I know,
man.
right?
I love that show. That's one of my favorite shows.
Ronnie is weird.
Exactly. I'm looking for work. I need work.
I'm actually, I think 50 Cent just bought the studio in Shreveport. I was raised in Shreveport. So I'm like, yo, I'm already working on my documentary From Gangster to Angel. Mm-hmm. So, hey, y'all be shouting me out. Y'all tag 50.
What makes you feel like your best self?
Staying humble. And always being able to be accessible. Because a lot of people, when they get to a certain level in life, or some people, they attain a few things more than what they had from the beginning, they get so high and mighty till they know earthly good. And you can't reach people if you think you're better than them.
Facts.
And that's not the way we're supposed to be. So how can I reach somebody if I'm not accessible? So just to always remain humble, because God will bless you for your humility.
So with all these great things you're doing and all the companies you have, if you could collab with any person or any organization, who would you want to collab with?
I think Meek Mills is doing a great job with the Reform Alliance organization that he has by helping people be reformed. So he would probably be one of them. And for a person, I just want God, you know what? I don't even know who God wants me to connect with. I just want to be connected to who God wants me to be connected to, so that when he elevates me, I stay there. Mm-hmm. And if you do it yourself, you can always be brought down.
Yeah.
But when God does it, you don't have to worry about it.
She done said something right there, right? How do you want to be remembered?
As the queen of giving.
I like that. She getting all these good answers. That's all real good answers. I mean, you seem like a very selfless person, and that's a really important thing, because, you know, I remember my dad used to say this saying growing up: "Selfish for self and nobody else."
Exactly.
So, like, it's funny, all those different sayings you hear growing up, and like as you become an adult, like, man, that makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense now. And a lot of times we were talking the other day, and I don't know if we were doing it on a radio show or something, and we were talking about people thinking we're supposed to I want to say dumb ourselves down for our generation now. Like, oh, we got to be on their level. No, what we were taught back then is what made me who I am today. It's like, okay, half of the stuff these people do today, ain't no way in the hell I would be doing it. Like, I'm not wasting no time. I'm not taking care of no men, women. I'm not sitting in the house playing no PS5. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm not pumping no gas, and I'm not paying no bills. That part. That. I'm just saying some of the stuff. And it worked. My mom didn't have to work. My dad worked. My husband is 8 years younger than I am. His grandfather took care of his grandmother. He was raised by his grandparents. So he saw this growing up. So every time he makes some money, he's a financial consultant and a day trader.
Yeah.
My allowance is on my nightstand.
Yeah.
We just got to get back to the basics.
But also on that, I feel like something that has to be earned. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Some ladies don't come in here think they are entitled. There is this thing, I call it the passenger princess entitlement, that some of these women have right off the rip. They feel like the world should be given to them right off the bat.
I'm not talking about them women.
Yeah.
In order for God to bless you with a king women, you have to carry yourself as a queen.
You say that. Don't be posting your stuff all on the internet.
That part.
We don't want to see that. I don't.
That part.
What do you think? I'm sorry. Like
Somebody posted it the other day and said, "Listen, now you've been dressing naked all these years and you still don't have a man. Maybe you need to put on some clothes. God may send you one." You know.
I mean, it's facts. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to,
It's just real. Real is rare.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change the direction of this episode, but like, I mean, us as men, I'm sorry if I see you in certain pictures, I'm not thinking about making you a wife. I'm thinking about something, but it's not me.
It's not that.
It's not that.
It's not for keeps. It's not for keeps.
It's not for keeps. And so just remember that. I mean, some of y'all feel like that's what's going to take for y'all to bag somebody, but maybe not. I don't know.
First of all, you don't even need to be trying to bag nobody, because when you come to the table, you need to be bringing something with you.
Exactly.
So if you're not bringing them with you, I mean, it's no need to sit down.
Yeah.
Fair exchange is no highway robbery. And it's been that. So, I mean, hey, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Exactly.
Don't be coming like you trying to get something you don't have nothing to bring to the table. It's just not cool.
Right.
At all.
At all. So, was there a question I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
Oh Lord, I don't know. See, we dropping some jewels. Y'all think we just talking. Let me tell you something. You don't know what you don't know. And I hate to say that because we went in a different direction, but a lot of people, they want certain things, but they don't want to position themselves to get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't say nothing because I didn't drop the jewels. I mean, I don't really have nothing else that you could have asked me. You know, I was wrongfully convicted. I won the appeal. I'm all about giving. I'm all about blessing. I'm all about sharing. And I'm caring, but I don't play. A lot of people can't take you when you're real. So people, stop being deceived and start doing your research.
Facts. So, in closing, I always like to ask these two questions, all right? First question. If you can give any advice to anyone, no matter the subject or the matter of the context of the advice. And two, what do you want people to take away from the podcast you did with me today?
I want people to take away from the podcast. Let me do that one first. The fact that God can do anything. And if he can take you from nothing, he can definitely bring you to something. But you got to be positioned. And you got to study to show yourself approved. You got to be willing to work the assignment. You don't work, you don't eat. You don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. I say this all the time. If you want something you never had, try doing something you never done. Mm-hmm. And then when you do something you've never done, God may just give you that you never had. Mm-hmm. But all of it works hand in hand. You get what I'm saying? And one thing I want people to take away from this, know who you are. And then guess what? When you find out who you are, you'll know where you're going. But you can't go nowhere until you know who you are. And tap into your purpose. Everybody that God created on this earth has a purpose. I don't know how to work the podcast stuff. I don't know how to work the camera. That's not my calling. That's your purpose. That's your gift. So I'm staying in my lane. I'm not going to mess with your stuff. And if you don't play the piano and you don't do all this stuff, don't come up here telling me what note to play in. You know what I'm saying? Listen, find your purpose, because when you find your purpose, God will bless you. I'm not just saying this. Follow my social media and you'll see, oh, she's not just talking. They call me Miss Proof in the Pudding on Facebook. If you donate $2 and I say I'm buying cranberry sauce, I'm going to buy 2 cans. And you're going to see me going live doing it. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I'm not going to do it, I'm going to tell you that too.
Yeah.
So people, do something so you can get some. Stop making excuses. Stop wasting time, because time is promised to no person on this earth. So don't be talking about, I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, do it right now. And if you got people in your ear that's telling you can't do it, kick them to the curb. Because they're not for you, they're against you.
Facts.
I mean, really, it's rare. And listen, if your friends are not where you trying to go, you need to kick them to the curb too. I always say this, if 6 of your friends broke, baby, you number 7. I'm not looking for no new friends.
Right.
And if I can't get $50 a piece from y'all and my tie just busted, you not my friend. But you need to be positioned. You like-minded people think alike.
Facts. 100% fact.
And I'm not saying this for no prosperity, and I'm saying you ought to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you want better, you're gonna have to do better.
Man, she's speaking the truth. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
Thank you for having me.
And sit with me. It's been great. I mean, I've enjoyed this a lot. Hopefully we see you around soon.
Oh, most definitely.
You know, most people I give an open invite to. So, you know, just hit me out, reach back out. We'll see when we get popping again.
All right, well, listen, I'm always, and when the next event we have, I'll call you because we're always wanting people to come out. And I'm going to say this, we're always looking for volunteers. If you want to be blessed, you need to hang around blessed people.
Yes.
So come out, hang out with us. You know, I want to give a shout out to Mercy for connecting us because she came and she helped me for Christmas and we blessed over 400 kids. Then at night, the manager from the Bentley dealership and I, who were really, really close friends, he and I took 10 single moms to Walmart with their children and let them shop.
That's amazing.
Same night. Let me tell you something. It makes you feel so good when you can bless other people. Even if it's just your time pushing the buggy, helping somebody. We just want you to come out and hang out with us.
Man, I will. I'll be there one day.
Oh, I'm calling you.
I'll be there.
I'm going to be taking, hey, I need you here, Ray Ray.
All right. We're going to be here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much again. Again, make sure y'all follow her. Follow all of her platforms. If you want those books, go get those books. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show still on all of our platforms. You know, we start off the show with positive words, so we're going to end it with positive words. So get your swag on. I just say rub your hands like your Birdman. Tell yourself, I will boss up mentally. I will boss up spiritually.
Yeah.
I will boss up physically. And I will boss up financially. Invest in yourself. It's your boy Ray Ray's podcast. Catch you next time, all right?
Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Hey, get money all day, get money all night.